President Trump signed an executive order today laying out new recommendations for childhood vaccinations. CBS News obtained a draft of the order which would reorganize the childhood vaccine schedule, lessen the amount of recommended vaccines, and encourage parents to spread their children's shots across separate visits to the doctor. So I want to go live now to Dr. Richard Besser, the president and CEO of the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. You're also the former acting director of the CDC and a prevention doctor. Quite the resume there, sir. Now, while this draft order doesn't explicitly mention autism, the president did repeatedly. Talk to us about this connection the president is making and this realignment of recommendations for childhood vaccinations.
Well, thanks, Liz. You know, in addition to what you said for my resume, I'm a general pediatrician and practiced pediatrics for more than 30 years and spent a lot of time talking with parents so that they could understand why their children were getting vaccines and the value that vaccines would have. And they could share in the decision as to whether to vaccinate their children. And it was never a big deal. What we're seeing now is the injection of politics into something that should be a very personal conversation between a parent and their child's doctor. And I would urge parents to ignore what the president is saying. He's weighing in on health issues that are not best addressed out of the Oval Office. He is injecting fear. He is injecting concern where there shouldn't be. His questions about autism have been addressed by study after study, and him lifting these up I'm not sure why he's doing this. The administration tried to change the vaccine schedule going around the established process back in January, and the court said, this isn't legal. You can't do that. Congress set up a system to ensure that the vaccines that are given to children and adults are safe and are effective. And once again, they're injecting politics into a place it shouldn't be.
You know, many parents, doctor, believe spacing out shots is a more gentler way to give out vaccines. Is there a benefit to it, or do you believe, no, the schedule now is the only way to administer vaccines?
Well, it's really important to explore that with your child's doctor. In terms of the effectiveness of the vaccines, there's no benefit in spacing them out. In terms of the soreness of a child's arm, I would often have a conversation with a parent and say, okay, your child is supposed to get these vaccines today. We can get it all over with today, or we can space them out and have you come back. The challenge with coming back for a lot of parents, that means taking another day off work, getting someone to watch their other children, making those arrangements. And so many people in our country don't have the ability to take off work without losing pay. In terms of the safety and effectiveness, there is no value in spacing them out. For a child who's had a bad time with one round of shots, it maybe had a fever and soreness that made it hard to sleep, you talk to parents and say, well, do you want to try spacing them out, see if it makes a difference? For some kids, though, that just means more, an extra day where they're having that sore arm and are feeling lousy. But there's room to work with parents on that, and it should be part of a shared decision making.
A lot of parents are getting their kids to go back to school. A lot of kids are already back in school, and you have to go get those physicals. And for many, that means vaccinations. A lot of parents are confused by these executive orders and conflicting their information that they're getting from people like yourself, but then also people within the administration. What does it mean for parents? What advice would you give to parents who are confused about what to do?
Yeah. Well, if you're fortunate to have a doctor, a nurse, a pharmacist that you have a trusted relationship with, talk to them, listen to their advice. What do they say to do? What do they do for their children? And I would have the conversation. I made sure that my kids were vaccinated fully and on time, because every day they were fully vaccinated meant one fewer day that they were at risk for a disease that could cause real harm. And that's a conversation that's worth having. This political noise, I'm not sure why they're coming at it. I had thought it might slow down before the midterm elections, but we have, as our Secretary of Health, one of the nation's leading anti-vaccine advocates, and it seems like he will not stop until he has his way. And that goes against the science. It goes against the safety and the health and the protection of our children.
Dr. Besser, great to be with you. Thanks so much.
Thank you.